It is time once again as we have another basic breakdown, and we are about to hit a milestone at my 200th upload on the channel. But before I get into that, we're going to be talking about a new or another basic breakdown today, talking about a deck that I think is a fan favorite, but more importantly, going to see a lot of play during the next format when TU 2.5 comes out. And it's time to reintroduce you, if you haven't tried this or know about it, to Red Purple Imperial, or more importantly known as Virus Imperialdramon. But before I get into it, as always, I just want to thank everyone who's a part of the Ad Army. We're growing with your support, and we keep getting better every day. So we're going to push forward as it's time to dive into Red Purple Imperialdramon and see the basic breakdown for it. Now, getting into it, I want to showcase all of the cards. So this is just a quick way to explain. If you've never watched a basic breakdown, it's pretty much in the title of the video, but it's morally to give players a chance at decks that maybe they don't know a lot of the cards and they just want to kind of sit down and realize what's in the archetype. This is kind of what Basic Breakdown is for, to give you an expansive look at the archetype and kind of what the cards do. And it does usually follow with combos to kind of showcase how you can get started playing the deck, but also hopes and wishes for some of these strategies if they need more support or where they could go from here. So I just wanted to make sure I got that clear because that's what Basic Breakdown is for those who maybe have just joined the channel as of recent. But jumping into Basic Breakdown, we are going to be looking at the eggs for Red Purple Imperialdramon. I are going to start off with 2, because luckily, thanks to BT 2.5 or BT20, we have 2 eggs for the archetype now that are synergistic. Starting off, we have the promo Minomon, which has been around for a little while. This one where when you're attacking, if this Digimon is a dual color card, or multicolored is what they're going, by trashing one card in your hand, you delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, so it is a rookie remover. Additionally, we have Demi-Vmon from BT20. This one is the more offensive one, where this Digimon with 4 or more Digi-Evolution cards gains 2000 DP during your turn. So very solid, very interesting. But now we're going to break down into the rookies where this archetype starts to develop, as it's time to look at the original EX3 rookies in both Wormmon and Vmon. Starting off with Wormmon, the main solid focus is that all the Wormmons are purple or possess the purple color, and additionally, the red Vmons are all red or they possess red as their secondary color. So starting off with the purple Wormmon, it has the ability to, on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You get to add 1 purple or red card with the free trait and 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name among them to the hand, and then you trash one of the other such cards, meaning that you add 1 of the Imperialdramon or free trait cards, and then you trash one of the such cards you find. Just want to make that clear. And then additionally, you put the rest on the bottom of the deck. For its inheritable all turns, while you have a red Digimon in play, this Digimon gains Retaliation, so very cool. Now moving into the red Vmon from EX3, this one's very simple, where on play, you may trash 1 card with Imperialdramon in its name or the free trait in your hand to draw 2 cards. For its inheritable during your turn, while you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gains 2000 DP. Very cool. Moving into our supplementary rookies, and the reason I say supplementary is that depending on your egg will depend on which of these you can play, because additionally they are supported, as the Vmon and Wormmon from BT16 have special evolution conditions in order to have themselves be played in the deck, because your eggs will matter. In the case of Vmon, it will Digivolve on top of Demi-Vmon for a cost of 0, and then when your other Digimon Digivolves into something with the free trait, you get to gain, is green, you get to gain 1 memory. So this effect may or may not pay off. Additionally, it has the same inheritable that your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP, so very similar to the Demi-Vmon egg. For the BT16 Wormmon, this one sees probably the most play because most people choose to play Minomon. During the start of your main phase or on play, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Insectoid or the free trait in the trash for the cost reduced by 1. And then for its inheritable, when attacking, once per turn, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Very solid, and you can kind of see what effects are very good for the deck. Now, talking about the BT20 Vmon and Wormmon, starting off with Vmon, we have a new red Vmon, where during your turn, any of your purple Digimon are played. This Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the free trait in the hand with the Digi-Evolution cost reduced by 1. So very cool. And then during your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. Additionally, we have the new Wormmon from BT20. This one is on play by trashing 1 card in your hand. Give one of your opponent's Digimon on deletion, lose 1 memory until the end of this turn, and it carries Retaliation as its main skill for its inheritable. Very good. Now, talking about the original EX3 Digimon that are in the champion line, starting off with Flamedramon and Shadedramon. These two both have mirroring effects where they mirror off each other, so I will read one and then just explain its counterpart. So starting off with Flamedramon, you get to activate one of its effects below when it digivolves. That first, you may digivolve one of your Digimon into a purple, or one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon with the free trait in your trash with a play cost reduced, or the evolution cost reduced, or basically for its evolution cost, sorry. Then during your other effect is that you can DNA Digivolve immediately with one of your Digimon on the field. So effectively, Flamedramon digivolves your other rookie into a purple Digimon, and Shadedramon will digivolve your other Digimon into a Digimon that is red. So effectively, that's the counterpart effect. They just switch red for purple to make sure you can digivolve into the other corresponding piece. Additionally, at the end of the turn, both of them share that you may DNA Digivolve with this Digimon and or a Digimon card on the field for their DNA Digi-Evolution cost. So you must have a target. Point is, it's a good effect. Now, moving into the supplementary champions before we get into the BT20 ones, we have the promo Shadedramon. I think this one is probably the most I would say famous, I guess, of the archetype, because this one is extremely good at helping accelerate the speed of the deck. So specifically, it digivolves on top of Wormmon for a cost of 2, but the main focus with this is when digivolving, you may play one Wormmon or Vmon from your trash suspended without paying the cost. This is a huge effect in order to get more bodies online so that it can speed up your plays, because you do need 2 Digimon in this deck. And then for Shadedramon on deletion, you may play one Vmon or one Wormmon from your hand without suspended without paying the cost. That's really big, and it's really big because of the fact that when you decide to maybe DNA with this, it gives your stack even more abilities to get back into the game if it gets deleted. So very good effect. Additionally, BT16 Sethmon is here. However, I do think this card will fall out of the deck. I do mention it because it is a dual color free trait that's red and purple, and it does digivolve on top of Vmon. So the main thing about this card is that it is an armor Digimon, so it does have armor purge. But the more important fact is that when digivolving or when attacking, you get to delete one of your Digimon and or a Digimon with more or less DP than this Digimon. So point is, it removes certain threats, and it's a really good way to just simply use a removal for Vmon maybe. So you go into this, remove something, and then the Vmon will stick around, obviously, because of Armor Purge. And then you can re-digivolve it into something like the Shadedramon or the Flamedramon, and then you can build your stack that way. So it is a really interesting dynamic with this card. But let's jump into BT20's new champions, as we have our first red X Vmon and purple Stingmon. Talking about them here. For XVmon, it's on play when digivolving is to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. Then, if it's your turn, 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card with Imperialdramon in its name or the free trait in the hand. So very cool. Additionally, it carries the your turn inheritable of this Digimon gets 2000 DP. So very nice. Going into Stingmon, that is now purple. It has an on-play when digivolving, very similar to XVmon, where you delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Then, if it's your turn, two of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into a Digimon card with Imperialdramon in its name or the free trait in the hand. Also, this card carries Retaliation as its skill. Funny enough, if there was ever a 1-card DNA, that would be hilarious. Point aside, that's exactly what this card is focusing on, being able to give Retaliation to keep it in theme of the archetype, but more importantly, allowing you to delete in DNA is just a very solid combination. But now we're going to get into the level 5s, and interestingly enough, this does change a lot thanks to BT20, because we do have the original Imperialdramon and Dino-Beamon from EX3. Both of them have mirroring effects where when you DNA Digivolve into them specifically, they play out the corresponding piece. Imperialdramon plays out Dino-Beamon, Dino-Beamon plays out Imperialdramon, but more importantly than that, on the deletion of Imperialdramon, it'll play out a Vmon. On deletion of Dino-Beamon, it plays out a Wormmon, so you have access to those effects if you have to go into these things hard. Additionally, one cool thing is that for both, their effects are obviously very important. as Imperialdramon gives security attack +1 to Imperialdramon in its name. That's Digivolved on top of it, obviously. And DINOBEEMON is able to give the ability to attack unsuspended Digimon to your Digimon, so very cool to have both of those inheritables. And now with the higher DP threshold inheritables of this archetype, there is a better chance that if you had to go into these and not be able to DNA, you can at least be able to swing into security and probably gain some checks that way. Additionally, BT16's DINOBEEMON is probably the biggest step towards this deck until we receive the BT20 cards, mainly be at the fact that it has Raid and Partition, meaning the deck now has access to bringing back its level 4 Digimon if it is so deleted or removed by your opponent. Additionally, the effect of DINOBEEMON from BT16 is where it shines, where it's able to play back a Digimon that has the free trait that's a level 5 and lower, but then also being able to give a Digimon rush and forcing it to attack the player is a really cool dynamic, because it does somewhat partner up with the BT20 cards. More importantly, having Partition as an inheritable is the key factor of this card, and it does make it, it warrants it to possibly replace your DINOBEEMONs if you so happen to just want to play Imperialdramon DINOBEEMON. More importantly, we have the BT20 cards as we start off with the brand new Imperialdramon here, matching the stats of all the others that have already existed, and its DNA evolution condition is still the same of a red level 4 and a purple level 4, so nothing has changed there. More importantly, during the on-play when Digivolving of this card, for the turn, one of your Digimon gains Piercing and 4000 DP, and then this Digimon may attack. So very important in doing a lot of damage early. But more importantly, all turns when any of your Imperialdramon or DINOBEEMON would be deleted, two of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into Imperialdramon Dragon Mode in the hand. So that is a big step forward for protecting and as well as pressuring the opponent. Additionally, as its inheritable still is security attack +1. So if I'm correct, I still think this works as when you're going for a security check. So if it were to be deleted, I think as long as you have the DINOBEEMON in play, you could go for a DNA. So I could be wrong, but I'm very certain that's how that works. So it will probably protect itself from various deletions that way. Additionally, we have the DINOBEEMON from BT20, where it matches, obviously, but being purple and red for its DNA evolution condition. For its on-play when Digivolving, you may return one Digimon card with Imperialdramon in its name or the free trait from your trash to the hand. And then for its all turns effect, very similarly to Imperialdramon, when any of your DINOBEEMON or Imperialdramon would be deleted to the hand, or no, sorry, would be returned to hands or deck, two of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into Imperialdramon Dragon Mode in the hand. So the interesting thing I like about the BT20 cards is that they give you variety for their protection, technically. So if you're bouncing one of them, or bouncing a piece, or trying to return it to the deck, it can trigger and then go into Dragon Mode that way. But for Imperialdramon, it's more aggressive, so it wants you to like swing in or purposely get deleted by an opponent to go ahead and get into Dragon Mode that way. So very cool. And then importantly, this DINOBEEMON now carries the inheritable of your turn. This Digimon doesn't activate security effects on options it checks. Having what is it, a tactical laid plan, I think is the card. Having that in that inheritable is always really good. Oh, a delicate plan. It's always a good effect to have, and because it just gives you the chance to not lose the security bombs. So a lot of decks now have to worry about this archetype being able to clear through security very easily because they already have a high DP threshold, and now they won't check, they won't activate options, so very tough. Starting off with the level 6s of the archetype, we have the original EX3 Dragon Mode and Fighter Mode. So Dragon Mode is very important because it's still a very solid card. What it does is that, obviously for the DNA evolution condition of a red-purple level 5, still remains. But when Digivolving, if you are DNA Digivolving, you select one of your opponent's Digimon, and then obviously this Digimon gains Blitz. But more importantly, you delete, when attacking, this Digimon gets 2000 DP for that turn. It's able to do a attack as well to Digivolve into Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. Sorry, I kind of mixed up the effects. But for its DNA Digivolving, you select one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you delete all of their other Digimon except that one. And then you blitz with the attack to trigger its secondary effect to, when attacking, it Digivolves into Fighter Mode. So the main thing is it's really solid, and you don't pay for... actually, you do pay for the evolution cost. Like I play this deck, it's just been a very long time since I've had to play it. For the Fighter Mode from EX3, this one has Piercing as its main skill, and when Digivolving, you may you may return one dragon mode from this Digimon Digi-Evolution source to the hand. I do remember this, and then it would be able to use the same inheritable of the new DINOBEEMON, where it does not check it does not activate the options it checks in security, so it does allow it to effectively dodge options. Additionally, for its on deletion, it allows you to play one Vmon and one Wormmon from its evolution sources. So if you do delete it, it basically says, hey, resources back. So that's what the original deck did. However, now we have modifications, and we have to welcome you to some new cards, as we have now the BT20 Imperialdramon Dragon Mode Ace. Dragon Mode Ace is very important because now it obviously is a Ace Digimon, so you can surprise your opponent, but it blasts DNA, Digivolves with DINOBEEMON and Imperialdramon to catch your opponent off guard. Then it's able to effectively on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 11,000 DP or less. Then if it's DNA Digivolving, this Digimon can Digivolve into Imperialdramon Fighter Mode in the hand or trash without paying the cost. Its overflow is -4, it has no inheritable, but it is extremely powerful in that if you DNA Digivolve with this Digimon, so I'm focusing on maybe the reactive DNA or you doing it on your turn, this card immediately turns into fighter mode. So that's extremely powerful to catch your opponent off guard, because now we have to talk about the BT20 Imperialdramon Dragon Mode, Imperialdramon Fighter Mode, as it's time to dive in. As it Digivolves on top of any Imperialdramon Dragon Mode, for a cost of 2, it carries Raid and Piercing as its main skills. And then when Digivolving, your opponent can't play or Digimon or Tamers by effects until the end of their turn. Then if Imperialdramon Dragon Mode is in this Digimon's Digi-Evolution cards, trash your opponent's top security card. During all turns, once per turn, when your opponent's security stack is removed from, you delete one of their Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. So extremely strong. This card does a lot of pressure, and it is very imposing to stop your opponent from playing out Digimon. So when it hits the field during your turn, it's just really strong to effectively pressure them, or during your opponent's turn, when maybe they need to do more plays, this thing just says nope. So very good. Now this deck does technically receive a tamer in the form of the Liberator strategy or Liberator comic, as we have the Battle NPC. And at the start of your turn, it is a memory setter. So this deck does not have a memory setter, but its main focus is on play. By placing one level 3 Digimon card from your hand under this tamer, you draw 1. Then for the start of the main phase, for its effect, if you don't have a Digimon by playing one play cost 3 or lower Digimon card from under this tamer without paying the cost, you then delete this tamer. And additionally, for its security effect, you simply play it. But the key factor is this is a Liberator traded tamer, so that is really cool to see. But the main focus is this is a way to now effectively give you the opportunity to have more ways to get to free trait Digimon on field, so you could pull off your combo more. So it's a very solid card, but also, if you could tell, this is still a generic tamer, so you could use it for other applications. Now we're going to talk about the final card, which is the option, as we have the Emperor Dragon of Calamity. It is a dual color red-purple 3-cost option, and it reads as follows. For its main effect, you may play one free trait Digimon card from your trash with the play cost reduced by 5. Then you place this card into the battle area. During all turns, when your opponent's security stack is removed from, you can use this delay effect for you to be able to play one Imperialdramon Dragon Mode from any of your Imperialdramon Fighter Mode's Digi-Evolution cards without paying the cost. For its security effect, you may play one level 3 Digimon card with the free trait from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then you add this card to the hand. This card is extremely good. It gives a massive benefit to the strategy in order to catch the opponent off guard, because what this does is it's effectively wanting to be used in the next couple of turns. You maybe don't want to start with this card. You always want to use this card going into like your third or fourth turn, because by reviving something from the trash, whether it's hit out of security or you trashed it yourself, it really is a benefit to play it down with the 5 cost reduced. And the key factor is, it says any free trait Digimon, so this can be something like Dragon Mode, the brand new Dragon Mode Ace. If it's in the trash, it can be played out for 2 cost. That's pretty insane. But we're going to be jumping straight into some of the combos so you can understand how this deck functions. So guys, we are going to be going over the combo portion of the video here. Starting off, we have a very quick one setting up, showing you the power and importance of DIGIMON, specifically the promo one. It is going to be your main play starter, and you're going to see right now, pretty much with some setup in the trash, this is what you can do to get you to where you need to be. Starting off, obviously, you'll digivolve whatever you have into DIGIMON in your deck. Obviously, it'll be purple and or red. So basically, you can pay 3 memory, you can pay 2, it's up to you. But the point is, even with you have to pay 3, you'll get where you need to go. And what I mean is, once you get access to another rookie in the form of either Wormmon or Vmon, you're ready to go off to the races. As simply, you'll just digivolve it into either the EX3, Flamedramon, and the Shadramon, so that you can just simply DNA. The main focus is going into your level 5 combo after, pretty much, because the deck is very linear, so it's not too hard to get to where you need to go once you do it. And then vice versa, it can either be Imperialdramon or Dinobemon. If this is the BT16 also, you can kind of switch it out, because as long as you have the other piece you want, you can use it. So like you have the Dinobemon, you can play Imperialdramon. That is important, and that's pretty much the main combo that you're going to do almost all the time, and it kind of shows the importance of the promo Shadramon. But I will show you kind of one of the ways now added to the deck where you can get rookies to the field without needing Shadramon, but you still kind of want Shadramon, so I hope reprints come quicker than what we already have. So the next combo showcases the Battle NPC, because I do think this is a card that people may be hesitant to play, because at first it doesn't look like it does a lot for the strategy, but it actually offers a really important element the deck doesn't have. So when we look at it, the main thing you want to think about with the Battle NPC is that it is effectively a free rookie. So yes, its effect limits you to only being able to have a Digimon, but the key factor here is that since you have to delete it and you have to control no Digimon, the main benefactor to this is that with the promo Shadramon, at least in the rotation, the thought process here is that you're able to do a full combo as long as you're able to get a Digimon to the field. Now, this is the main benefit, but also if you're playing the deck without the promo Shadramon, the Battle NPC still has an important factor where it gives you the ability to play rookies without if you brick for whatever reason. So the main focus is when you play it out, you'll load up one of the rookies, you'll get the draw, and now you have a memory setter, which is important in the deck. But say you brick and you don't have rookies, the key factor is you will have a rookie, a search, or anything you need as long as you have access to the Battle NPC. Suspend it, you play out the card. Obviously, this is at the start of the main phase, so you gain your 3 memory first, then it gets deleted. So the key factor here is that in any turn going forward, you'll be able to push up Digimon, but the factor you want to look at with the Battle NPC is that you're able to play out your rookies from underneath it to get some energy, or I'm saying like getting your deck going. So that's like the main key here, and then effectively you start to see the point of it is like in later turns, these two can kind of focus into getting into your main combo. So that is ultimately what the deck is trying to do, and just trying to get you to roam as quickly as possible. Now we're going into the final portion of the video here, which I do all the time. So if this is your first time, like I said before, welcome yourselves as we talk about the most important factor of a deck, the future. Now, when we talk about the future of Imperialdramon, specifically the virus version, there's a lot to consider, but I do think I have my hopes for the deck here, which is the first one being able to play out tamers for free, and additionally searching the Battle NPC. If we are not going to receive another tamer, which I do hope, and is one of my other hopes that we do receive another tamer for the deck, I do think that in order to make the deck a bit stronger, searching for a tamer and being able to play it for free is just a mandatory must, because this deck is still lacking, I think, in consistency, because it is only really able to search and draw in its main engine, not too much. It's only able to do it a few times, so I do think adding more abilities to utilize the tamer would be a little bit better, because the Battle NPC does give you a draw, so it's important. Additionally, another tamer to the deck. This was something I wasn't going to have, but with the announcement of Time Stranger coming out in the year at some point, I do think that another tamer would be great. As I do think that with Time Stranger, there could be a new tamer that's paired up with a Virus Imperialdramon, like a Wormmon and a Vmon, and that'd be absolutely cool to see. But the main thing is another tamer would be really great, maybe one that searches, or one that can give defensive options like blocker or maybe immunity sometimes. I do know that the new Imperialdramon's really good, but, you know, there could always be something there. And then finally, the last hope I have is that there is another ace probably on the way. The main reason I have this is that being able to have the Dragon Mode Ace is really solid, because it gives the deck an ability where if it's stuck, it can kind of do something with its resources. But I think a Dragon Mode or a Fighter Mode Ace is going to be really important, because I think that it would give the deck a little bit more ability to pressure the opponent as well, because yes, the new Dragon Mode Ace is cool, but it does need to blast DNA, whereas I think with the Imperialdramon Fighter mode, if we were to receive an Ace, it wouldn't need to blast Digivolve in terms of like DNA, so it could just work on top of one level 5, and it could maybe have like a not as strong effect without Dragon Mode, but it's still something defensive that the deck could use. I do think the deck needs some more defenses. But ultimately, that's all I've got for you guys today. I do hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, this has been a really late upload if you're noticing. So for those watching in the early morning, I do appreciate it. I had to redo the video because the audio was a bit off, so I had to redo it. Additionally, you'll hear me cough in the beginning, so apologize for that. But that was one of the problems I had before, too much of it. And then finally, we're just closing it off here, as I do hope you enjoyed this basic breakdown. There's obviously more content coming, and we're about to turn to my 200th upload. So maybe for you guys, it may or may not matter, but for me, it's a big milestone, and I'm very happy that you'll be along the ride for it. But as always, this has been Brad from the Ad Army signing off, and for all of you out there, to sign on.